Today in this video we are going to discover top 12 interesting facts of Antarctica. For centuries, Antarctica has captured our imaginations. Sitting down at the southern tip of the globe, and isolated from the rest of the world, the Antarctic has remained somewhat of an undiscovered enigma, while no single country actually has ownership of this continent. That's right, it is a continent, after all, and no one owns it. A number of different nations do still have research bases stationed down in Antarctica. So, let's dive into this curious world of Antarctica. Number 12, hundreds of researchers have disappeared. As much as we all want to go high-five the penguins, down at the South Pole, there's a good reason why average people aren't allowed to visit. Simply because, the conditions are so harsh that hundreds of researchers have disappeared here. Over the years, scientists and explorers have been forced to learn that the hard way. Number 11, Antarctica is melting more than we think, and causing sea levels to rise. What happens to ice when it melts? It turns to water, of course. As expected, this is causing our sea levels to rise. As told by scientists, that ice has raised global sea levels by 14 millimeters since 1979. While 14 millimeters might not seem like much, just wait until you hear what's possible. Number 10, dinosaurs once lived here. There was once a time when the Antarctica was covered in with forests and dinosaurs. Among the countless species of wildlife roaming the plains were, of course, the dinosaurs. 100 million years ago, long before the disastrous meteor that came down and squashed our favorite long-done Jurassic beasts. Number 9, it's the largest desert on Earth. You might boast about Sahara Desert, that has 3,300,000 square miles of scorching sands and dusty plains, but that doesn't even come close to the southern Antarctic. Officially, the largest desert in the world is in Antarctica, that covers 5,500,000 square miles. Number 8, the presence of gold-spurting volcanoes. They say that money doesn't grow on trees, although we all wish it did. However, down in the icy Antarctica, gold really does shoot out from volcanoes. As part of what is already a miraculous environment and ecosystem, the eruptions from Mount Erebus contain microscopic particles of our favorite shiny mineral gold. Number 7, it's home to a blood-red waterfall. Ah, Mother Nature. The almighty builder of our world sometimes becomes bored with her regular clear water features, and decides to add a splash of violent color. The water that feeds Blood Falls was once a salty lake, that is now cut off from the atmosphere. Number 6, there are underwater rivers and lakes. It's difficult to imagine if there is anything beneath the thick layers of ice in Antarctica, yet scientists have discovered a number of underground lakes. You might be thinking, how could water flow underneath a frozen slab of ice? Let me explain it this way: when you put a tray of soon-to-be ice cubes in the freezer, the top solidifies before the middle and the bottom, right? Therefore, we see water continue to flow underneath the solid ice. Number 5, there's a canyon as deep as the Grand Canyon. Scientists have discovered 3 giant canyons in Antarctica, at around 2/3 the size of Manhattan, and almost 1,000 feet deep. It's located toward the bottom of the Thwaites Glacier. Number 4, Antarctica used to be a rainforest. It might be a little hard to come to terms with, considering that these days, Antarctica is nothing more than an empty and icy place on our planet. However, way back in the day, before the Ice Age struck, the area actually played host to a lush tropical rainforest. Number 3, 6 months of daylight and 6 months of darkness. Well, surprisingly, Antarctica has 6 months of daylight in its summer, and 6 months of darkness in its winter. The seasons are caused by the tilt of Earth's axis in relation to the Sun. The direction of the tilt never changes. But as the Earth orbits the Sun, different parts of the planet are exposed to direct sunlight. Number 2, Tinder actually exists down there. The ice is melting, volcanoes are erupting, and there might be a sea monster making all kinds of noise down there. But enough of that nightmarish stuff. Scientists found fossil fragments of 13 trees, and discovered fossils of trees that are over 260 million years old, meaning that this particular forest was growing at the end of the Permian period, before the first dinosaurs. At that time, Antarctica was still at the South Pole. Number 1, unusual creatures. Antarctica is a barren, icy desert with very little rain, fierce winds, and the coldest temperatures on Earth, yet it's also home to a myriad of unique wildlife. It was previously thought that nothing could survive beneath the massive ice sheets. However, scientists have discovered a number of unusual species that have adapted to the harsh environment. There are microbes, crustaceans, colossal squid, leggy spiders the size of dinner plates, and giant worms. You can even find see-through icefish. These strange creatures have large eyes and their internal organs can be seen through their translucent skin. The fish have antifreeze glycoproteins and cannot survive in warmer waters. If Antarctica can sustain life, there are high chances that we may find life on other icy frozen planets and their moons. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.